In today's video, we're going to replace a linen closet door with a bifold door. Here are all the pieces. You always have to pay close attention. For example, these screws and those look similar, but they have different types of heads and they serve a different purpose. So we're going to check and make sure that we have everything, including the top rail that the door is going to hang from. I'll start by removing that track and replacing it with this one. They're very similar, but I don't want the chrome and I don't know if my wheel will ride in there. Also, this track has to be set back about 3/4 of an inch in order to accommodate the door. This one's flush with the front, so it wouldn't work anyway. So that's about where I'm going to put it. I'm going to set my square to 3/4 of an inch and mark it just like that all the way across. These are the two pivot pins. The one on the left goes on the top. The one on the bottom, you can see it's serrated. That goes on the bottom, and that engages into this. Now the door is going to open this way. This is going to be the hinge side. So I have my two pivot pins. This is the top pin right here. And as we discussed earlier, this is the bottom pin. It's got that serration. So what we're going to be doing is putting that up there, but this goes in a hole right up here. And this is going to go in a similar hole right here. If your door opens the opposite direction, just use the opposite holes. Mine is going to open and hinge on the right, so I'm going to put it on the right side. And there we go. And once those are in place, on this side, I am going to put the roller guide. And it'll be nice to get rid of this crusty old thing. I can clean up this whole area and replace it with this nice new bracket. To install the door, I'll bring it in at an angle, and this pin will go right into that hole, and this wheel is going to angle right into the track in order to fit the bottom pin down here. And the bottom pin rests right in that bracket, and since the top pin is spring-loaded, you can just pick up the door and move that back and forth and set it down so you can adjust the distance here. And that right there looks pretty good. Okay, so this works pretty good. The space on the side is even all the way. If it wasn't, all I'd have to do is pick the door up and slide it back and forth along that bottom bracket. Of course, I'm going to need to put a doorknob right about there in the middle of that lead door. And we've got to get that spring in there, don't we? Okay, so the snugger isn't very snug. I tried to put it in there and it's falling right out. So I think I'm going to have to take a pliers and just pull that together just a smidgen. Okay, even though I put a cloth around there, I think I scratched that a bit, so it might take a little touch-up paint, but this whole door frame is going to need some touching up. And what that does, when the door closes, it catches that, and that way the door is a little tighter. You see that spring kind of pushes against that glider wheel. Now I'm seeing a lot of disagreement on where to put the handle on this door. Some say put it over here. Some say put it more towards the center. That little difference, I don't think it will really matter. I think the door will open either way. Visually, I would like to center it. You can see I put a little mark here. I don't even like that. That was measuring. I'm going to visually put it right about here between those two panels, and I think that'll look really good. They provide a long screw to come in from the back, and then you just screw that door knob or handle on. And there we go. Oh, voila. All I had to do is drill a hole through 2 layers, front and back, bring the screw in from behind, and put that knob in place. And the center works really well.